Bitcoin hoodie guy coming back with another Caspa video. You can see it's just under 11 cents. Happy Christmas Eve if you celebrate that. So if you celebrate that, if not, happy Sunday for you. Right now, you can see that when I got on here, that showed on two miners that the hash rate was 130 petahashes. It has shot up there, but this is the first time since I've been making a live video that it was 130. You can see it's gotten up there. I mean, the last week it was peeking its head over 120. Now it's just slowly consistency getting up towards over 120. And now it's not even going back under 120, staying over 125. You can look at the month. I mean, a month ago it was 66 petahashes. So in about a month's time on this month's chart, the hash rate has doubled, close to doubled. So that's bullish. You look at the address is growing. You just got to be patient. In this market, you can see stuff jumping around. This pops up. This pops up. You know, Solana's hotter than Satan's toenails. You just got to stick to your game, whatever your game is. It's going to look different than mine. It's going to look different than a lot of people's. You might be a Caspa maxi that's only into Caspa. You can see that it's still holding the edge over Dogecoin in terms of the profitability. And, you know, I think there's some big things on the horizon for the crypto space. You know, you'll see stuff like this. Forbes, BlackRock will completely destroy Bitcoin. Gold surged 350% after first ETF approval. Could Bitcoin do the same? And that should potentially could even happen in January. Now, you don't know, but the SEC is ramping up meetings with those guys, and they're talking about whether it's going to be a cash or in-kind, basically entrance and exit to the ETF. And watching the Bitcoin hodl, which he's a Bitcoin maxi, but he seems like he has a good perspective on the ETF. And BlackRock and those people, Fidelity, it's gonna be super. People are worried that they're gonna manipulate everything. There might be a little bit, but they make most of their money off the fees, management fees, and the trading fees. So you just gotta be patient here with Caspa. But the hash rate is one of the basically maybe the biggest metric. You have the devs keep working on Rust, the transition to Rust, and working on the test net where they've got 10 blocks a second. That stuff takes time to develop. And if you look at Solana hasn't had an outage since February. It had lots of outages the last bull run. And so it just shows that when you look that it took time for Solana to make those changes. So you can see that the last time it was down was February. So that's a pretty good run for Solana. It was down for 18 hours. So that's a pretty big one. Then October, major outage, 6 hours, 1 hour. And then there. So they seem to have gotten better. And that is upgrade to their technology. And that took time. So if you look at it, Solana didn't start off that way. And so here, obviously, back in January 2022, they had tons of outages. And that's something that turned me off of Solana. It's performed well. But the hardest part, I think, sometimes in crypto is when you have your bags packed in a coin, maybe you're DCAing more into it, maybe you already have your bags packed and you're just kind of in it for the long haul. You see all this other stuff popping off and it feels like boring or it feels like your project's not doing enough. And that's when you got to be the most patient. Now, that's not financial advice. That's just what I'm doing with my bags. And every project, even Bitcoin, you'll see people that have FUD against Bitcoin. There'll be FUD against Caspa. There'll be FUD against Solana, Cardano, whatever it is. You can go find plenty of videos of people making bullish videos. And that's when all of a sudden everything else, the grass seems greener on the other side. And whatever your game plan is initially, whatever your entrance strategy, good to have an extra strategy. What price point might you sell? What time frame you might sell? The theoretical top of the Bitcoin bull run could potentially be around October of 2025, but that's, theoretical. Huddle Dom, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you. Um, so I think life is pretty good in Caspa land, if you ask me. The most important metric, the hash rate. Now I'm going to refresh this. Maybe it went down a little bit. So yeah, I did go down a little bit, but it's fluctuating. But that was the first time I ever logged on and had it 130 right when I was going to make a video. So it's fluctuating, but overall it's trending up, and that's the most bullish thing in my opinion. You can just in October it was like 50 petahashes. Now it's up to consistently over 120. Pretty soon that'll be 130. So that means miners are making enough money to keep securing the network, bringing on more powerful computers, which keeps securing the network. The addresses are up here. So yeah, it's over 352. So that's nice. Um, no big drop in sharks or whales. Yep, and there's just like yesterday, we're looking at this number 2 wallet that's got most of all of its Caspa from a KuCoin wallet. So it's either a KuCoin wallet or maybe it's someone that's gearing up for a listing. Who knows? So right now, sometimes, at least for me, there could be a lot of fear surrounding different projects or just the market in general. You can go find people that are going to have fear about, and sometimes there might be a reason behind that. Someone's a big bag holder in Solana, so then they're knocking other L1s, or someone has a lot of money in gold, so they're knocking Bitcoin. Someone's, you know, big into some other L1, so they're knocking all the competitors, and that happens. And there's a lot of rich people that are going to be playing powerful games, but the reality is that I don't see how there's just going to be a lot more liquidity in Bitcoin. All these ETFs, you can see they're doing commercials trying to compete over getting all that capital and the money that's coming in. They're going to have to buy Bitcoin to hold that in the ETFs. So, someone, even if it's in cash, someone sends them cash, they have to have the Bitcoin. So they buy the Bitcoin. And so that means that these ETFs are going to need more Bitcoin. And so there's less than 2 million Bitcoin on exchanges. Now that really ties into everything. Caspa has marched to its own beat during this bear market, but when the overall liquidity goes into Bitcoin and filters down into other aspects, and if Bitcoin has a huge supply shock or even just a minor supply shock, then I think that could be good for the entire ecosystem, and Caspa fits into that. There'll be more money, and then two is once Bitcoin goes up, there's just going to be more people onboarded into crypto. Oh man, Bitcoin's getting close to a new all-time high, or it's over 50,000. More people are getting onboarded. Just saw a video today that sometimes when things are cheap, people feel like there might be something wrong with it. So that might happen in crypto, where the price, more people are going to buy Bitcoin at 150,000 than they're going to buy it at 20,000 during the bear market. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you've been grinding through this bear market, whether it's Caspa that you've been picking up at lower prices, you're probably in profit. Maybe you're picking up Bitcoin. Maybe you're picking up Solana, whatever it is. Maybe you're picking up Avalanche, um, Cardano. There's basically almost about anything that you picked up this last year would be in profit. And so I think the ETFs can be net positive. You can see that in the last year, basically almost everything. Yeah, Injective and Caspa are the two biggest winners in the last year. You can see like ApeCoin, PancakeSwap, Chills, Hex. There's like in the top 100, there's like 5, I guess. I don't know if that's Toncoin, but I don't think it's Toncoin. Whatever. In the last year, there's only like 5 or 6 projects in the top 100. Everything else is near up 184%. A lot are around that 100%. IMX a little bit, but HBAR, ICP, Caspa is almost 2,000%. Injective 3,000%. Sol almost 900%. Link 166, OKB, Bitcoin 159, ETH is kind of underperformed. A lot are around that, 80. Most of these are 85 to 100 and some percent. So Link, there you go, VET 122%, Bitcoin Cash 122%. Atom 28%. So Atom's kind of underperformed, so you got to look at the big picture sometimes. And you don't, for me, I don't want to be panic selling right before a big run up. And, these ETFs are going to have Bitcoin. And if you look at Bitcoin on exchanges, it's going down. So I don't know where the graph is, but I saw it recently. It was under 2 million, a better graph than that. But, so it's next year or two, pretty much this it should look pretty similar to this. There'll be a few that don't perform very well, but most will be in the money. You're gonna have big winners like Caspa and Injective, Solana, and then Render. You're gonna have some that are doing pretty good. And it depends on what bags you pack. If you I don't have anyone that has the exact same portfolio as me. um and so, I mean, someone might have a close portfolio, but when you tie it all back into Caspa, this is times like this is when people start selling off, because and you can do whatever you want, but this, to me, selling off at this point, this is a time to buy if you believe in what they're doing, what the narrative could be around it, what the technology they're trying to develop, the founder, his reputation. And so, because you're like, man, this thing is down, what is it, 40% or 30% since its all-time high. So then all of a sudden you see everything else feels like, because since Caspa did hit its all-time high, a lot of other things have pumped up because Caspa did its pump at a slightly different time. And then you have things like Bonk and Solano and all this, but Injective. And that's where you just got to be patient. That's the game I'm playing. Patience. I got a plan to exit, and I'm not going to panic sell my crypto into someone else's hands. And what if the initial result of ETFs is not what we think it's going to be? I'm not going to panic sell because I believe in the larger picture of what this space is doing and the projects I'm invested in. And so that's my plan. Let me know what your plan is. Are you trying to scoop up some more Caspa here? Um, or do you have your bags packed? Are you going to try to wait for a lower price? And, sometimes the lower price never comes. You can look at the charts. I've seen people talking about the charts that's going down to 6 cents. Some are saying it's not. And somewhere, if in the first half of January there was a Bitcoin ETF, that could move the whole market up, and Caspa should go up there too. Even though it is kind of doing its own thing, I just don't see the whole market seems like it'll go up. I mean, even if Caspa just went to kind of hung out at like 13 cents instead of just under 11 cents. But all right. Well, that's all I got for today. Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas Eve, or if you don't celebrate that, happy to whatever you do celebrate. Let's enjoy this bull run. Get a good plan. Let's keep a level head. Try to stay out of the emotions and look at what really matters, like hash rate, growing addresses, and be patient because chances are whatever you're holding will pump. And sometimes they just pump at a little bit different times, and just you need the narrative to swing back around to whatever you're hodling. So thanks for watching. I don't have a Discord, but thanks for asking, Huddle Dom. And yeah, all right, guys. Well, enjoy Christmas Eve, or if you're celebrating something else or not celebrating it, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Let's enjoy this bull run. I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun couple of years, and just try to enjoy it, even when your bags are down, knowing that most likely the narrative will swing back around. So thanks for watching and have a good day.